Glad to have you join us on the Midday News. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Nigerian troops have now taken full control of Polka, a town in Borno State, from Boko Haram insurgents after a land and air offensive. Defense headquarters disclosed this through its Twitter feed on Tuesday afternoon. Of course, it noted that soldiers took control of the town after a fierce battle with insurgents who had been operating freely for some time now. The military says a countdown and search operation is underway. And with the 2015 elections a matter of days away, America's President Barack Obama has advised Nigerians on the importance of having a free, fair and credible elections. The American president, who says he's talking to the Nigerian people, called for all hands to be on deck to ensure that the polls are free, fair and credible, while adding that the quest to make the polls successful is one that all Nigerians must be involved with. He also advised Nigerians to reject messengers of hate and intolerance.
Hello. Today I want to speak directly to you, the people of Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation, and you can be proud of the progress you've made. Together you've won your independence, emerged from military rule, and strengthened democratic institutions. You've strived to overcome divisions and turn Nigeria's diversity into a source of strength. You've worked hard to improve the lives of your families and to build the largest economy in Africa. Now you have a historic opportunity to help write the next chapter of Nigeria's progress by voting in the upcoming elections. For elections to be credible, they must be free, fair, and peaceful. All Nigerians must be able to cast their votes without intimidation or fear. So I call on all leaders and candidates to make it clear to their supporters that violence has no place in democratic elections, and that they will not incite, support, or engage in any kind of violence before, during, or after the votes are counted. I call on all Nigerians to peacefully express your views and to reject the voices of those who call for violence. And when elections are free and fair, it is the responsibility of all citizens to help keep the peace, no matter who wins.
Obama also called on all Nigerians to reject a perversion of the Islamic religion personified by the Boko Haram terror group.
Successful elections and democratic progress will help Nigeria meet the urgent challenges you face today. Boko Haram, a brutal terrorist group that kills innocent men, women, and children, must be stopped. Hundreds of kidnapped children deserve to be returned to their families. Nigerians who have been forced to flee deserve to return to their homes. Boko Haram wants to destroy Nigeria and all that you have built. By casting your ballot, you can help secure your nation's progress. I'm told that there's a saying in your country: to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. Today I urge all Nigerians, from all religions, all ethnic groups, and all regions, to come together and keep Nigeria one. And in this task of advancing the security, prosperity, and human rights of all Nigerians, you will continue to have a friend and partner in the United States of America.
U.S. President Barack Obama on peaceful polls in Nigeria. Meanwhile, ECOWAS Chairman and Ghanaian President John Mahama on Monday met with his Nigeria counterpart Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the March 28 presidential election. Speaking to journalists after the closed session, President Mahama said the visit is to ensure that elections are free and transparent. The Ghanaian president also expressed hope that the results will be accepted by the electorate, leaving no room for post-election violence.
Extended my solidarity to the Nigerian people through my brother, President Jonathan, to say that the whole of ECOWAS, not only ECOWAS, but the international community is in solidarity with Nigeria to have a very transparent and free election so that the democratic process in Nigeria will be further entrenched. This is a critical election for Nigeria, and it will be one more indication to the world that Nigeria is a democratic and a democratic country ruled by the tenets of good governance and rule of law. And so we want to wish you all the best. We are also meeting with the INEC to look at the state of preparedness. I believe that following the postponement of the elections from the 14th to the 28th, it has given the INEC much more time to be able to complete, all its processes and be in readiness to ensure that voters are not disenfranchised and that the results of the elections are accepted. We expect that there will be no post-election violence and that all the parties involved in this election will accept the results of the election in good faith when INEC has announced them. ECOWAS will continue to monitor the situation and will do everything possible to stand in solidarity with the Nigerian people to ensure that these elections pass off successfully and Nigeria continues in the role that it plays in our sub-regional body. As you know, Nigeria is a very important member of ECOWAS, the largest economy and the largest population in the ECOWAS region. And so Nigeria's safety and security is the safety and security of the whole of the ECOWAS region. And so all the presidents, I stand on behalf of all the presidents of ECOWAS and wish that all Nigerians will come out and express their votes, and their votes will count towards electing who becomes the next leader of this country.
The ECOWAS chairman also held a similar meeting with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari. Like the earlier one with President Jonathan, just that this one with Buhari was at the airport. The APC presidential candidate flew into Abuja from Owerri for the meeting on Monday evening.
I began this morning with a meeting with President Jonathan, and we discussed all issues to do with the impending election. And I had firm assurances that everything is set to go and that 28th of March these elections will come off. We expect the elections to be free, transparent, fair and credible, and ECOWAS is going to do everything possible to work with the political stakeholders and the Independent Electoral Commission to make sure that the election process is credible and acceptable to the people of Nigeria.
Okay, did you also get assurance?
Following my meeting with President Jonathan, I met with the INEC chairman, and he gave me the figures of their rollouts in terms of logistical deployment. And I believe that with what he showed, they have done satisfactory work to be able to ensure that every Nigerian is able to exercise his franchise.
And with just few days to the March 28 presidential election, a pro-Jonathan group is demanding that permanent voter cards be used without smart card readers. Now, this, it says, is because the devices cannot guarantee a credible process. Addressing a press conference in Abuja, the National Unity Group argued that the outcome of the election could plunge the country into avoidable crisis if INEC does not abandon its plans to use the card readers. The group maintained that the refusal of INEC chairman Atahiru Jega to publish results of the test run carried out in the selected state leaves a lot to be desired.
In order to avoid avoidable political and constitutional crisis, INEC should quickly discontinue the planned use of smart card readers and instead use the PVCs without smart card readers, as was done in Osun and Ekiti states. It is instructive to recall that the smart card were not used in the 2011 elections, and yet the elections were adjudged locally and internationally as the best in the history of Nigeria as free, fair, and credible. The signs are now clear that if the smart card readers are used, the results will be less credible than the 2011 election, and this will plunge the country into avoidable crisis and anarchy.
It's no doubt a season of endorsement as elections draw near, and the latest in this endorsement train is the Corporate Forum, which says that it's picking President Goodluck Jonathan as its candidate for the presidential election. Patience Ajiboye has more in this report.
Addressing the press at the Institute of International Affairs, Chairman of the Corporate Forum, Funsha Lawal, while examining the scorecard of the Goodluck administration, says, under Jonathan's watch, Nigeria has become one of the fastest-growing economies in the world and the #1 destination for foreign direct investment in Africa.
It is not worthy to mention here that the private
flourished and benefited immensely because of the business-friendly programs of the Jonathan's administration. Today, the Nigerian economy, with an average growth rate of about 6.2% per annum, is the largest economy in Africa, thanks to the Jonathan administration.
On why the body waited until now to show its support for PDP's presidential flag bearer, this is Funshola Lawal's reaction.
So we believe that we'll be very consistent. In fact, the corporate program has been in existence since 1999. And each time, we also have an arm of the corporate forum which is called the SRG, Strategic Research Group, which has been analyzing data from government, we've been pushing out figures since 1999. So we've been doing this, and mind you, we are not the only organization. I mean, we are just corporate forum. You have the government there, you have so many good luck support groups in the country. But on our part, we've been very consistent, and we've been coming out with different figures and different reports at different times in support of this administration.
The Corporate Forum is a non-governmental organization which serves as an intermediary between corporate Nigeria and government and has been in existence since 1999. Patience Ajiboye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories after now. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You can get all of our top stories on any other social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter, handle is at CoreTV News NG, and we'll stream live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV with a space and news. Moving on now, the People's Democratic Party has accused the All Progressives Congress of producing a documentary with view to inciting the masses against the federal government. Spokesman for PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Femi Fani-Kayode, said at a news conference in Abuja that opposition figures would be held responsible if any of its leaders is hurt. It also lashed out at the APC for suggesting that the government had a hand in the abduction of over 200 schoolgirls from Chibok, Borno State, almost a year ago.
The opposition party is such that they are prepared to say and do anything in order to denigrate the powers that be, to undermine our nation, and to incite our people and to bring the president, the government, and its officials into disrepute. The latest video, which was produced by a group called APC New Video, was quietly procured and secretly viewed by the intelligence units of this directorate. Amongst other things, they have listed as topics a number of issues and allegations, some of which are listed below. 1, that many Nigerians are using private jets, and that this, in some way, is indicative of the corrupt nature of the Nigerian people, which is, of course, absurd. 2, that in the last 4 years, the government has spent 48 billion naira on the presidential air fleet, which is, of course, a preposterous lie. Thirdly, they raised issues about the kidnapping of the Chibok girls, insinuating that somehow the government had a hand in the whole affair and that they are hiding the girls. Fourthly, they raised issues about the comments of Stephen Davis, the Australian negotiator, who alleged that a friend of the president's, Governor Ali Modu Sheriff, is sponsoring Boko Haram. They made all kinds of allegations, including the alleged relationship between the president of Chad, the president of Nigeria, and Governor Ali Modu Sheriff. Needless to say, these allegations are baseless and they are simply unbelievable.
On the contrary, the APC has accused the federal government of spending 1 trillion naira on hate campaign and negative media propaganda targeted at its presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari. This, it says, is in the midst of grinding poverty PDP and the government has subjected Nigerians to in the last 16 years. Spokesman for the APC presidential campaign, Garba Shehu, noted at the news conference in Abuja that hundreds of billions of Nigeria is being spent on print, broadcast and social campaign messages. He also claimed that President Jonathan had been crisscrossing the country, doling out 50 million naira on the average to traditional rulers, especially in southwest Nigeria.
Spending spree by the PDP federal government. Now, it would not have bothered us if PDP federal government were spending money that people have earned by themselves through sweat, hard work, or business. They're spending your money, my own money. This government is spending more than 1 trillion naira of taxpayers' money on this election. On this election, in effect, meaning to do two things. One, to generate hatred against the leaders of our party, our candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, and to literally buy votes. Doing a simple arithmetic, the average cost of a wrap-around, newspaper wrap-around, would possibly be about 50 million. Some ask for up to 25 million naira. Yes, some take less than 10. Average 15 to 20 million naira. Mr. Jonathan buys about 5 on the average per day. In the last 3 months, they've been doing hundreds of these, running into billions of naira, coupled with the massive resources that have gone into funding questionable, defamatory, libelous documentaries on AIT, NTA, and some small radio and TV stations in the country. Now, what we expect is for a president who had spent 6 years in office, he will be campaigning on his own record. How many hospitals has he done? How many roads in terms of kilometers?
Just manage your concerns. Bear with us, put them silent, we try to end it as quickly as we can. Of course,
APC has also again alerted the public to what it describes as the rigging plans of the People's Democratic Party for the March 28 and April 11 elections. The party, while speaking through its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, says the PDP has put in place what it called a modified Ekiti rigging strategy. Going further, the APC spokesman says the PDP knows it cannot be victorious if the polls are free, fair, credible and violence-free.
Those who are averse to a free, fair, credible and violence-free polls have simply come up with the plan to sew military and police uniforms for their party thugs to wear on election day, so they can rig the elections for the PDP.
Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has denied claims that it was planning to arrest the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, and other key opposition leaders. EFCC Chairman Ibrahim Lamode said at the launch of Red Alert on Scam, a special publication of the Anti-Graft Agency in Abuja, that the commission will not tolerate a situation where politicians use its name to further their political ambition. He argued that the agency does not need to be prompted to do its work of investigating allegations of corrupt practices. Lamode also expressed concern over the circulation of a fake letter purportedly from the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President, directing the EFCC to investigate some political figures.
Over the weekend, one of the political parties addressed the media over the weekend, claiming that the EFCC plans to arrest its leaders. There is also another fake letter in circulation claiming that the EFCC is investigating the former education minister. Let me state here that the FCC does not need the prompting of any person or anybody to open an investigation against anyone that has violated the law. But it does the nation no good when politicians seek to use the name of the FCC to further their political objectives. I'd like to sound a note of warning here that the Commission will no longer tolerate people dropping its name to further their political aims. The FCC is not a political body and will not allow itself to be dragged into the political fray by desperate politicians.
While the EFCC chairman has now cleared former Central Bank Governor Charles Soludo of involvement in the Australian polymer banknotes bribery scam between 2006 and 2008. EFCC Chairman Ibrahim Lamode made the clarification at a news conference in Abuja. He said investigation into the scam did not establish any link with the former CBN governor.
Nigerian printing and minting press with regards to the issue of bribery in respect of the printing of currency by currency an Australian company. It's involved the UK and Nigeria. From the investigation so far conducted, we did not find anything that Soludo was directly involved in. He was invited because at the time the thing happened, he was the central bank governor of Nigeria, and the printing and minting press is still a subsidiary of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And the thing happened under his watch, and the foreign partners requested certain things to be clarified from him, which we did. And at the end of the day, there was nothing that could be said to he could say to have done wrongly. And no money could be traced back to him from all the bribes that were given. So he was exonerated as far as that investigation is concerned.
President Goodluck Jonathan has launched the Development Bank of Nigeria to make small business owners have easy access to loans. He also used the platform to present his vision for the next 4 years to Nigerians. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, Mr. President said the bank is expected to disburse over 200,000 new loans to micro, small and medium enterprises in the first 5 years of its operation. Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, for her part, said the introduction of the bank will mark the end of high cost of finance for small business owners.
They are most times forced to borrow short-term for long-term investments. The Development Bank of Nigeria will change that. The Development Bank of Nigeria will focus on helping small and medium-sized enterprises and even micro-enterprises and the medium corporate sector to create wealth in the economy, diversify the economy, particularly industry, and create jobs. As far as achieving these objectives are concerned, we know that development banks have in the past had mixed results. But we've also made a careful study together with our partners of the traits and characteristics that have allowed development banks to succeed. And there are many successful ones, including the KfW in Germany.
The Development Bank of Nigeria, DBN, represents a defining milestone in our administration's efforts to empower more micro, small and medium enterprises across our land. MSMEs form the backbone of the Nigerian economy. The men and women who own and operate them are true reflections of the strong Nigerian spirit of enterprise and the vigorous work ethic that defines us as a nation and as a people. The Development Bank of Nigeria will revolutionize lending by offering loans to businesses with tenure of up to 10 years and offer up to 18 months moratorium. Of course, this has been explained by the CME. I'm very happy to know that the new bank is already set to disburse over 200,000 new loans after the process of setting up the bank has been consummated.
Outside Nigeria now, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz from the hardline Republican right confirmed today he will run for president in 2016, the first major candidate to officially bid in the next race for the White House. The announcement fires the starting gun on the Republican race, already expected to be a crowded contest. The 44-year-old Tea Party favorite has been senator in Texas since 2012 and is a long-time critic of U.S. President Barack Obama's administration. He also raised hackers in his own party in recent years, where he helped push the U.S. government into shutdown over budget fights and for opposing Republican leaders on a series of issues. He's expected to appear at the Christian Liberty University in Virginia later today, where he could flesh out his leadership ambitions. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Do join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.